Hello chatbots out there, I hope you've all had a really good week so far. Today in this video I'm just going to be telling you guys about what I'm going to do on my day at college. On Tuesdays I'm at college, then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday I'm at work placement, and on Mondays I'm on my day off. I got ready for the day ahead and had a nice refreshing shower and had some jam toast and a cup of tea. Went onto my Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, got myself ready for college and got my bag and lunchbox and stuff ready, and I then said goodbye to my mum, locked her, and went and got the bus to college. And I was on a double decker. I sat upstairs and listened to my music, and I had chatted to this lady who was at the bus stop while waiting, and it was a nice sunny day. And the bus came really quickly, so that was good. And I got to college. My younger sister was at college today, but my dad picked her up on the way back from work as she wasn't feeling very well, so she was off college. And my older brother is in uni, and older sister's at work, and my younger brother and his girlfriend were off to college. And I got to college, and I discussed with my course mates on my course about what I'd been up to at work placement, and then we did a questionnaire that you have to do every year as you near the end of your course or end of the term before summer. We did a questionnaire about how college has been, and then had break, and I went off to the factory, hanged out with my mates, and did some drawing, and went off to the quiet room. Went to get my drink out of my lunchbox and realised I'd left my lunchbox on the kitchen counter at home. What am I like? And I then chatted with my mates a bit about how my weekend had been, how workplace was going, and then it was the end of break, and me and my course mates and the course leader and workplace manager walked over to the Wise campus of our college, and there was a stall for mental like awareness week, for like mental illness awareness week, that is this week, and they gave us lots of leaflets and stuff. Then we talked to them a bit and asked them some questions and stuff. Then we went off for lunch and went off to the cafe at the Wise campus. I just sat and chatted with my mates a bit, tweeted a little bit, and then we made our way back to the main campus. So we walked down back, and by the time I got back, I was literally so hot I thought I was gonna faint. It's so warm at the moment, and I got a bag of chips and a cooler from the factory and started chatting to my mates. On the way back to the main campus, I'd called home, and my younger sister picked up. Didn't realise who it was at first because I thought she was at college, so she explained how she was not very well. And my mum and dad were asleep. My dad had just gone to bed and he'd been sorting the house and gardening out and throwing a test ball for my dog Harvey. And then my mum, the past few nights, hasn't had the best night's sleep because she has sleep apnea and is a bit of a night owl, so sometimes she goes through phases where she doesn't sleep and then where she does. And so she was catching up on her sleep, and then I went off to the factory and had my lunch and chatted with my mates and did some doodling, and went off to the quiet room, played some games, tweeted a bit, did a bit of photography around the campus with some flowers and stuff, and then went off to the resource centre, went and drew a bit, and then played with my mates out in the yard, messing around, having a lot of laughs and a lot of fun. Then it was the end of lunch break, and it was time to go off to afternoon lessons, and I was in the U block, and we were doing about mental health, and went on to this website which helps people with mental health issues and illnesses, and it's called Off the Records at ODR. And then we got given letters about a trip that we're going to be going on next Tuesday, or as the course, and it's to the job centre, so that's going to be really exciting. And so they gave us a letter. Then at my afternoon break, and I just went off to the factory and was chatting with my mates and texted me a bit about how my day had been. Checked on her, and she said that she'll be at the college for 3:15 for the annual review. And I then went back to lessons, and I did some research on what the job centre is and answered some questions about that. Then it was the end of the day and my course mates had all gone home. I had to wait behind, so I was able to go on Facebook and just had some free time on the computer while I waited for my mum to arrive. And I went off to see my mum was because it was time to go. It was about 3:15, and I went off and found her, and then went to the reception to sign her in and get her visitor's badge, and ended up bumping into my old friend who helped me do bus travelling, and she has upgraded now, and she now, instead of doing bus training, she helps people who are wanting to get into working life like myself. So she was in my annual review, my course leader and my mum and myself. It went really well, and I was blushing a bit because of course nobody is really good at taking praise. It's always a bit cringy, but it went really well. There are a few little bits of criticism here and there, but if you don't get any, you can never get better, can you? Then it was time to go home, and me and my mum blasted music out of the radio, and had the windows down, and it was a nice, relaxing journey back home. Got back and put my bag and stuff away, and I helped my older sister to clean out the rabbits one, and they're in their rabbit room and clean out their rabbit hutch. And my older sister was at a primary school having a meeting this afternoon, so she was able to come here, so she stayed here for a little bit and she's now gone off. And I had some Nutella toast and a nice cold drink of Vimto, and tidied up my office, and I've been working on my new chapter in my book, and wrote some new songs and scripts stories for the game. And my mum and my younger sister had a bit of a heart to heart when my mum got back from shopping, and we just sat chatting about all things. You know what girls are like, they just love to chat, and like myself, it just runs in the family. And I watched some Doctor episodes and some Supernatural episodes, and watched Will and Grace, Big Buffy and How I Met Your Mother, and I watched today's Henry and Neighbours. And for my tea, I'm going to be making myself some cheese and beans and toast, which is my specialty. And I tidied my office up from my being working on my new chapter to my book and some new songs and scripts drawings for the game. And I went onto Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I uploaded some new photos onto my Instagram that I'd taken while on my walk at break, and got some nice fast snaps. And I played with my Moan the doll, and I did a bit of doll photography stuff. And I tidied my dog list show and set up for my playing my dog list show. Sorted the traps and sets out, and I watched some old stuff like Skins, Wardrobe, Green Show, and Degrassi, and some other stuff like that, and watched German the Holograms, the animated series. And I also watched some vlogs and read some blogs, and watched some of my favourite YouTubers videos and finds. And I watched some Dollhouse toy videos, some doll toy stuff, and looked at dozen dust off of eBay, Amazon, Swift, and also looked at some doll line stuff like Pull Up Dolls, Monster High, Ever After, and Barbie and Bratz. And watching Barbie and Bratz DVDs. I watched Barbie Rapunzel. That's probably my favourite Barbie animated film of all time. It's such a great film. I absolutely love it. Did some colouring pages, very therapeutic. And watched Kate Boss, and watched Lip Sync Battle, and Dr. Mike, and The Late Late Show with James Corden, The Ellen DeGeneres Show, and The Running Woman Show. I'd love to have my own talk show someday. It'd be so cool. And I also watched some episodes of Riverdale, Hunters, and watched some old episodes of Glee. And I listened to a bit of Madonna, a bit of Kylie Minogue, a bit of Tears of Fears, Coldplay, and a bit of Panic Disco, and Duran Duran, a bit of Shania Twain, and Adele. And I tidied the house up a bit. Food the tennis ball for my dog Halves, and my dad's now back from work, and my older sister has gone off home, and my younger brother is at work at the moment. And I watched some doll hostel videos and looked at some dolls and dust off of eBay and Amazon Smith, and I played with my main breeder doll and had finished sorting them out and put them away. And I watched DOSOS and watched Casualty, Heartbeat Doctors, and Pine and Bush's Sensibility, and Firebrand and some other period drama stuff. I watched some police drama stuff like Miss Marple, Midsummer Murders, The Bill, and Murder She Wrote, and some other stuff like that, and some police drama stuff. And I watched some DVDs and listened to CDs and vinyl, and I watched some cartoons and anime and manga stuff. I read some anime, manga, Vogue, Hello, and fashion design and drawing books, and read a bit of the 10th series. So I'm reading blah blah blah. Let's try that again. I'm reading the 10th series of the Adventures book at the moment, and I've almost finished that. I read some Jack Wilson books and some comics, and I watched a documentary about Kylie Minogue celebrating her many years in show business because she's literally the queen of pop. And I watched her Sugar tour, and I also watched some doll game shows that people have created, like My Focus Stuff, Sam Mickey, and Beauty Inside the Box, and some other of my favourite doll lovers. And I am now off to go watch some more Supernatural episodes and Running Grace episodes, sort my memory doll out, do a bit of doll photography stuff, and then go and have my tea and get ready to watch this evening's soaps and what my journal about today. I had such a great day. College was great. The annual fee went really well, and I hope you've all had a lovely start to your week. Have a lovely Wednesday tomorrow, and I shall see you soon with a new vlog coming very soon. Bye.